Hi everyone, welcome again to our channel Performative Drawing. Today we are going to discuss a new relation in a session number 4. And this relation is related to growth and to alienation. Growth is something which is presented to us as something which we cannot avoid, that is everywhere around us. And because of this expansion of growth, we find ourselves often in a kind of alienation. So this relation is there, but it is undescribable. Alienation is probably smaller than growth. Let's try to deal with it now. We will start first with the bigger thing, and this thing is growth. Growth can be presented as bigger and bigger space, which is prolonging somewhere in the background. But what is enabling this growth? I would say that what is enabling it is many organic and anorganic elements which are integrated inside. They are a very important part of the growth, and without that the growth cannot expand. There is no expansion of growth without these elements. We have also these elements which enables growth to expand, because the growth must be also light. The growth is not heavy at the beginning, it is always more lighty, because it needs a certain expansion and certain achievement at the beginning. So it must be also light in a way. So with this yellow color we can make this lightness more easy and enable it. The beginning of the growth is in a way dark, and it's still not clear, is it going to happen? It is sometimes more green than blue, because it is related to the natural resources or to some other expansion possibilities that exist, and it is rather gray. As I said recently, that organic elements are also very important part of the growth, because they allow growth to expand and to move forward. We can think to have them in a form of different legs with different shoes, for example, because it shows this organic motion of the growth which we have. So very important aspect of the growth is actually the way how the growth is exploding. And this is done sometimes with different elements, different organic elements, as for example wings, the wings of growth. Those wings are kind of acceleration of the growth. It is accelerating the growth, and it is expanding it there. You see, the growth is full of colors, it is full of different attachments, and in the same time there is no many space or much space for the alienation. Alienation is actually smaller than growth because it is squeezed, and it is defending itself from the growth in a way. Like, I imagine this defense to be made by a simple umbrella. And this alienation can be represented as a small creature which has snail house, Now we are going to wait a bit and then to start to draw, because here we need to maybe to have some elements stronger than it is done at the beginning. And then to start to do the most important part of our composition, and this is always the performative drawing element, the drawing of the performative drawing activity. And to see how to connect and disconnect, this is pretty abstract composition that we have now. We will need a very special concentration to do this, and we will need also some dryness at a certain moment of this composition in order to keep a certain infrastructure of the growth. And in that way to enable other form to be produced during the drawing, and to connect the growth with another element which we are trying to bring here. I said different types of shoes and different legs which are expanding this growing situation, which is dominating absolutely. And it is dominating in different forms and in different directions. Like, for example, here, Here we have a boots, for example, huge boots. Those for snow, because the growth is expanding also in different geographical spaces and areas, and it's looking for snowy spaces and snowy surroundings, or maybe some elegant shoes that people wear on parties. So it is expanding and it's going there and there. Or some rustical legs. All of these organic forms and elements are important for this growth to expand. Without them, the growth it's uncertain. So this growth needs to be put in motion by very important aspect which I mentioned, and those are those two wings, the wings of growth. The wing 1 and the wing 2. Enabling the expansion. And enabling the acceleration of the growth. Here is expansion, unlimited expansion, or actually there is no unlimited expansion of growth. There is only this wish to expand in an unlimited way. And the growth is always trying to expand in an unlimited way and to open unlimited spaces and reproductions. So we can maybe end it here. Not so defined because it is unlimited. We don't know what will happen. It can maybe go even away from this paper, and it can become also a part of some other composition in some other session that we will have. Let us see how it looks like. Wow, it's huge. It's huge and it's quite amorph, and it looks not so nice. I would say it's quite amorph. It has a lot of attachment and it is really expanding everywhere. So it is clear that alienation is from this amorphic creature, or metamorphosis is possible, and this alienation and distance of this view of the growth we will try to do now. We will take more fine brush to do this more detailed. The umbrella. Hand, which is holding the umbrella. And very important element, it is a snail house. And one face inside, if you see well, which is representing showing this alienation from the growth, and also the wish to defend from it. So we are almost approaching to the end of this composition. What we have until now is actually here, and we can maybe do some more of the details, but it is not so unnecessary to do all these details, because the essence is here, and this relation between the alienation and the growth is practically clear. The growth is huge. It has characteristics of expansion, and it is abstraction, and alienation has these characteristics of going back to isolated space and trying to defend their living and existing position. I'm tending here to add few more lines and to have these wings of growth a bit more active in the plastic way. And after that, I will consider this as a finished session. And I hope we managed to answer you complex and relevant question of how to deal with the relation of growth and alienation. So, this is the end. I hope that you enjoyed in this performative session of performative drawing, and I'm inviting you to session number 5. We will see how we can deal with this abstraction of growth.